Tonight on Thursday Night Football AfterBuzz TV, a battle for not just the one seed in the AFC West, but the one seed in the AFC. Chiefs, Raiders. We break it down. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Anything that has blonde Cisco in it, like, it's got to be a win. We're just going to ignore the fact that this movie was terrible. Right.
Well, it's in reference to the Wild West, as in the AFC West, because it got a whole lot crazier. And we're going to break it down to you live on AfterBuzzTV.com, the AfterBuzz TV YouTube page. You are liking, subscribing on iTunes and SoundCloud, telling your friends, even your enemies, about the wonderful world of AfterBuzz TV. What is up, everybody? I'm Josh Tariff. Full gang is here tonight.
Woohoo!
That's right.
It's a party.
It is a party here, and a Wild West party.
We're out in the West.
Yeah, we finally had a big Thursday night game.
We had a meaningful game that wasn't a blowout.
Right.
So it was nice. Over here, I got Miss JJ Jurgens.
Hi, guys. How are you? You can follow me at JJ Jurgens on Twitter and JJ.Jurgens on Instagram.
Over on the other side, Miss Jill Munroe.
Hey, you can find me at Stiletto Jill everywhere.
And Michael Rippe.
Dude, I love your intros.
Right.
It's amazing. I just want to do this the whole show. You can get me on social media at Mike Rips.
Josh left out that I am fantasy king for the week.
Wouldn't you be queen, though?
Yeah,
No, I want to be king.
You're
Just
the
like
king.
you guys get to be king, I get to be king too.
There's a Burger King right on the corner from my house, and I was so, if I would have had a little more time, I was like,
should've
oh,
run a
I want to get her a crown. Yeah. So, imaginary.
So now,
I'm sorry.
now that I finally got JJ and Jill to actually participate in DraftKings,
Big mistake.
Jill has won the last 2 weeks.
1, 2.
Because she completely hustled me and Mike.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. She's been doing this for years. She's got her bookies.
Absolutely not. This is your fault. You guys convinced me to do it, and I was so ashamed that I came in dead last that first time by like so many points behind. I had to step my game up.
You did your homework.
I tried to.
Well, clearly you have.
I tried to approach some strategy with, my picks, and they seem to have worked out, so.
And another group of individuals that have done their homework and stepped over the game has been the Kansas City Chiefs, who are now won 8 of their last 9 games, snap the Oakland Raiders win streak, win tonight 21-13, and take sole possession based on the tiebreaker of the AFC West, as well as at the moment, they are the 1 seed in all of the AFC conference. Who would have thought at this point we would have said the Kansas City Chiefs be the 1 seed?
Well, maybe not the 1 seed,
Well,
but this guy.
I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs look good, but the 1 seed?
I've been pushing Kansas City to be the team to come out of the AFC West, so I'm not that surprised, but they look really good. And one of the things that's been very surprising is the emergence of their rookie wide receiver, Tyree Kill.
Yes.
He's now got the most touchdowns of all rookies in the NFL, and he's explosive. I mean, he's taken them to another level.
He is the definition of playmaker.
And fast.
Yeah, he's so quick and can hurt you, obviously, with the kick and punt returns. He's a very competent wide receiver. You could do the reverse and just have him run the ball.
He's a playmaker.
He is very versatile, and really on what over these last few years has been a very conservative, very traditional Kansas City Chiefs offense that, kind of slow plays, work the clock, Alex Smith, just small plays. All of a sudden, you have this lightning bolt.
Tonight they scored all 21 of their points in like an 8.5 minute span in the second quarter.
Well, all 4 touchdowns. There were 4 touchdowns tonight, all in the second quarter.
That was when the action was. I hope you didn't, go to the bathroom, go get some food.
I missed that. Thought you were going to catch up in the fourth.
Yeah, but so a guy like this, with their strong defense and the steady quarterback, this has kind of been like their missing piece. If Tyree Kill can continue this momentum, because he didn't start the season this hot.
No.
But you're picking it up at the right time. The Chiefs are a legit threat for the Super Bowl.
100%.
And let's give a shout out to Andy Dalton, because not Andy
Andy Dalton?
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith or Andy Reid?
So here's the combination that was going on. Andy Reid, because I really feel like his coaching has made the difference quietly. I think the Eagles got rid of him, personnel reasons. I mean, I understand why that change happened, but he's really come on for the Chiefs and been strong. If you look back to last season, you could sort of see foreshadowing of this happening, and quietly they've gotten it done. Alex Smith, who I hated when he was with the 49ers, solid but boring, has done his thing with the Chiefs. You can't take anything away from them. He's handled the offense, kept it very steady, and
the Kansas City Chiefs are the San Antonio Spurs of the NFL. They are
minus the championships.
Well, yeah. But as far as their gameplay heading into this last month with Tyree Kill, they are boring, but they are fundamental and get things done.
They were boring until Tyree Kill.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Until about a month ago.
Now they're explosive offensively with Tyree Kill and even Spencer Ware in the backfield, but also defensively. In last week, they won against Atlanta on a pick 2 from the defense that returned the 2-point conversion to give them the victory. So they're explosive defensively and offensively.
Yeah.
And even with special teams, that's a good team. And you're right about Andy Reid. I bet Philadelphia would want him back now.
Right.
I've been saying this stat, which it keeps growing. I think that they're 19-3 in their last 22 games now, the Kansas City Chiefs under Andy Reid.
I think tonight they mentioned they're 20-3 now.
20-3.
Something along those lines.
It keeps growing, and they're phenomenal.
It was 20-3.
Season sweep over Oakland. They're extremely well coached. Andy Reid's a great coach. He doesn't get enough credit for how good a coach he is. I mean, everybody likes to hate on Alex Smith, but Alex Smith's a really good quarterback, and he looks like, especially tonight, he made some really nice throws.
They had a stat on him tonight that I wrote down. They said he has 70% completion, 700 yards, and no interceptions in the last 10 quarters played.
Everybody thinks of him as just a conservative guy that doesn't do anything, but he doesn't make too many mistakes. He manages the game well, and tonight he made some really good throws.
And that's the big factor as far as him managing the game. He did have an interception tonight, but it broke that long streak that you were talking about, JJ. So, I mean, if you're looking, you don't want him for fantasy. 264 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. It's a good game, but the fact of the matter is he kept the offense driving on the field, kept the time of possession in Kansas City's favor, and just really executed a really good game. And you cannot say the same about Derek Carr.
No,
and in cold weather conditions, too.
Do we think that weather was a factor for them? I mean, how many games?
I do, too.
It was really, really cold.
You got the West Coast California team.
Right.
Used to the West Coast California
On
vibes.
a short week.
Short week, playing against a rival that's already beat them this season in their home, which is notoriously Arrowhead Stadium, one of the loudest places and most difficult places to play. Up for that game, so you got the West Coast California team struggling.
And you got a hurt finger on your quarterback in the cold.
Exactly.
But, I mean, with the hurt finger, because, yes, it is an injury, it is the freezing cold. He's come back and won 2 games with that hurt finger.
I think some of that is the competition, though. Buffalo last week, not the same as Kansas City.
Well, of course.
And I think that's what it came down to. They met competition that could overpower them in a bad game from Oakland.
Derek Carr is now 1-5 against the Chiefs.
Great stat, exactly. He won his first matchup versus them and lost the last 5. Wow. And he was probably the worst he's been all season tonight. Probably a combination of the weather, the thumb, everything. But
do you think this performance tonight knocks him out of the MVP race?
I never thought that he was the leader in that race, but I think it doesn't knock him out fully because you're allowed to have a bad game, especially in this type of game. It's a tough one to have a good win in. So I don't say knock him out. I didn't think he was going to win coming into this game. It certainly didn't help him tonight.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the main conversation as far as MVP up to this point in the season, we're looking at Brady, Carr, Stafford, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott. Did I say Brady?
You said
you did.
And Derek Carr.
Yeah.
And Matt. Did I say Matt Ryan too?
I don't think. No.
Okay.
No.
It was kind of like those 6.
Well, there was an informal poll. I forget where I read it, but there was they did 50 people, and I think they came up with 12 different people. So there's a lot of options. We still got plenty of time this season, so he definitely is not out of it. But talk about someone that didn't help him on his own team tonight. What about Amari Cooper?
Where was
there
he?
There was a pass
that big play.
What happened there? Did you guys have an idea? It seemed like he had a chance to catch the ball.
It almost like on one hand he lost his footing, maybe he lost it in the lights. I don't know. He just kind of did a weird stutter step and magically came behind the ball where he could have skipped his way into the end zone.
And I thought it was something odd with his footing and just getting slightly off balance.
That was a wild play because that could be the difference between them winning the game
Yeah.
He scores that touchdown there and a 2-point conversion. They're tied. I mean, that was a guaranteed touchdown. Maybe Derek Carr's day looks better. But also, Kansas City turned the ball over 3 times. Still won. I think it was this. They had a stat. Kansas City had won maybe once in like 50 times when they had turned the ball over 3 more times than their opponent. I bet Fantasy Stats Guru knows that. But so to win that game with the 3 turnovers for Kansas City is a good sign for them. However, on the flip side, their defense, they did lose their linebacker, Derek Johnson, their leading tackler.
Yes.
He's out, and he tore his Achilles, so he's done.
He ain't come back for a while.
He's done, and that's a big loss for Kansas City, which that'll be interesting to see how that plays out for Kansas City.
And that was such a freak.
So a non-contact.
Yeah.
So sad to see. This guy works out. Think about how much.
And isn't this the second time that he's been locked?
It was his other one. Yeah.
But think about it. This guy has worked so hard over 2 years to come back from this, and he's playing well. He puts in all this time throughout the season, and then just for not even a non-contact injury, just to go down.
And it wasn't even a big it was barely looked like anything. Yeah. And poor guy just knew, just threw his helmet down. And I mean.
Sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things where obviously, especially heading to this time of the season, injuries are going to be crucial on your playoff runs. Also, something that would be crucial are the coaches' decisions in crunch times. And I want to ask you guys this. We talked about Andy Reid a little earlier. Coach Del Rio for the Raiders, who has taken a lot of gambles this season, most of which have paid off, and a lot of people have praised him for those risky moves. About 3 minutes left in the game. Oakland is driving. They're around maybe like the 15-yard line. They have a 3rd and 1. Their running game has been producing most of the night. Derek Carr's been struggling with the pass. They throw on 3rd and 1 into the end zone. Miss it. And then they go to 4th and 1, get a false start, back up to 4th and 6. Now you have to throw it. Incomplete then, and that eventually cost them the game. Why would Coach Del Rio make the decision on that 3rd and 1 to pass instead of just try to run it, get the first, and now you got 4 downs to get to the end zone?
I don't have the answer to that one.
You're supposed to have all the answers, Mike.
I don't. It's a good question.
Just bad.
He's a gambler. It's easy to, after this, to look back and say he could have done this and that, but I mean, it's worked for most of the season. It just didn't work tonight, really. That's what it comes down to. Just the whole game plan. It looked like. I mean, where was Michael Crabtree? Was he in the game? Because he had 2 catches. This guy's been one of their.
The receivers aren't going to do much of anything when Derek Carr has 117 yards.
Well, also, but I mean, you got Amari Cooper catches that pass that's 70 yards. Before you know it, he's got somewhat of a game. I mean, yes, it was a terrible game for him, but he's got to get some help from the receivers too.
And Crabtree did have 4 catches, but they were only for 21 yards.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, Amari Cooper led them with 5 receptions for 29 yards. It was all just little passes because Carr could not throw the ball deep tonight because of his pinky.
What did you guys think about the uniforms? Because
I was thinking,
I love them. I was expecting the Raiders to be in all black.
All black, yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't mad at the white. I liked them.
You thought they were fire.
Yeah, they were fire.
What did you think about
flaming
which one did you prefer, the Chiefs or the Raiders? The all red or the all white? It was like the candy cane game.
The candy cane.
I prefer the all white, but I actually liked both of them. I thought it was both great.
They looked really good on field. You haven't always gotten that.
Yeah,
some of these matchups.
It's a good combination for the football game. Yeah. Like a green field and nice red and white. It was good colors.
Speaking of combination, I found a lot of segues tonight in what you guys are saying, which makes me happy.
Smooth.
I know, it's being smooth, and especially that I'm calling it out makes it even smoother.
This is so smooth right now.
Right.
So smooth. Speaking of smooth, the combination of Alex Smith and Todd Kelsey, they have been
Travis Kelsey.
Travis Kelsey. I roughed up that segue from mistaking his name. Travis Kelsey, excuse me. Alex Smith and Travis Kelsey. 4 straight games with 100-plus reception yards for a tight end. Kelsey is on fire right now.
Did you guys watch his post-game interview?
I did not see it.
Tell us.
Well, he was just, I loved him. Like, it was, they were talking all about that and how great he's been doing. And I just loved his attitude, and he was, out there, and he's, he still wasn't covered up or anything. And he's like, and he had a fan out there with no clothes on, shirtless, and he's like, I just love this. The fans are still out here. I'll sit out here all night for, he's like, this is what we do.
Travis Kelsey?
Yes.
He was pumped up. You could see him at the end of the game when they got that first down to clinch. You could see him in the huddle just chanting to the guys, like punching his linemen,
Yeah, he was
stoked about it. I like that. I like that fire. I like that excitement. That rubs off on your teammates.
That's what I
yeah.
like to see too. And they were asking him about, you know, if it's a Super Bowl possibility, and he's like, it's been one for us all along. We've been talking about it. So you could tell that he's like focused and in it to win it and ready. It made me, on a totally side, like girl note, I've never watched his dating show.
I was gonna say, maybe you wanted to watch the show, right?
I want to go check out his dating show.
I mean, I am a Bachelor fan, you know, so I was like, Bachelor,
And he
Bachelorette.
does
I was like,
frequently
oh.
hit nice little dances on the field. I mean,
What
he saw
just
his
happened
taunt
to the
tonight.
show?
Taunting.
What just happened to the show?
Sometimes we get into
You're
girl
welcome.
things, you know, occasionally.
For you ladies out there.
Right.
Oh, come on. Some of you guys
there.
love the Bachelor, Bachelorette too. It's not just a girl thing.
Look, JJ and I are gonna hold it down for the ladies, and you know,
You guys do hold it
remind
down
you
for the
of some of
ladies.
those things. So.
You definitely hold it
It
down for
had
the
to be
ladies.
said. He's a very
Right.
charismatic man, and yeah. Maybe.
Bonus.
Anyway, smooth segment for that. What do you got?
Right.
I got nothing for that one.
Nice.
I got nothing for that one.
That's
But
when we need that Casper mattress read. Just kidding.
get some live reads. Wow.
Also,
Wow.
Fantasy Stats Guru tells us in the chat that Kelsey also made fun of the kicker. When,
Yes, he did.
When
Did a
ran
punt return
back.
touchdown.
By the way, can we talk about Marquette King? He's the kicker or the punter for the.
He's my favorite punter in the history of punters.
Come on, segue man. That was my segue right there. Yeah.
I just
He's
wanted to
my-
say that. You can go in detail. Go
He's
in
my favorite
detail.
punter. I covered the Raiders last year, and I just remember watching him in the practice field. First of all, he doesn't look like a punter.
Nope.
He looks like he could be the safety.
Yeah.
He does celebrations after every kick. He's an awesome punter too. He's incredible, and he literally is taunting the other players, and then they taunt him back. Like, who taunts the
Yeah.
punter? Only
I
the-
love
It's
it.
amazing.
If you guys want to see that, you can actually head to my Twitter timeline. I retweeted it. You can see
Yes.
Travis as well as Marquette's original version of the move. So yeah, it's on there.
But yeah, it's the fact that a punter is getting in the other team's head that they have
like
to do
it.
that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And there was a couple big moments he was involved in tonight. Let's start with the first one where he had a punt, not so great punt, but there was the penalty that they had to re-kick, and he actually had a better punt.
Yep.
And then it was returned for a touchdown by Tyree Kill.
Right.
That was on the re-punt, which was an interesting play, and then also on their fake field goal where he's the holder, and he did you think that
It wasn't a fake.
Right, you think
Yeah.
he muffed the hold? Or
Yeah.
So do you? I'm curious to know what you guys do. You blame him for not being able to catch the kind of not great snap, or was it the center's fault?
It was center's fault.
Center's fault.
And it's funny, I had to rewatch that too because I thought they pulled a fake too, and I was like, wait, no, it wasn't. I went back. I'm
well,
gonna knock
don't-
that over.
don't
one
knock
of these
over my
Thursdays. I'm
water.
all excited.
Slash
Yeah.
vodka. I mean, no, it was a high snap by the long snapper.
But did you think that he should have been able to at least handle the high snap, get it down, or did you think that that was on the center? That's because it seemed like it was close. Maybe he could have got it down, but maybe he ran. Also,
I think it's also because he is young,
He's
so
young?
it might have been a panic moment
And
that he
all-
could have got it down in time for Janikowski to kick.
and also he is the type of guy that likes a little bit of attention in the sense that he
sure.
has done fakes this year. So maybe he's a little bit overconfident because he's like,
can
oh,
do
I
it.
got the ball in my hands. I'm
gonna go.
I'm
I
gonna do
thought
it.
it was a fake. I didn't,
I mean,
that's what I thought.
fourth and goal from about the 20, so then you're backed up another 10 yards for the kick. That better not be a fake. That's
I mean,
all.
I didn't say I thought it was a smart fake. I just
I actually was thinking it was going to be a fake before the play. I was watching with a couple of my friends, and I was saying this would be a fake area just because that's how Oakland is. They do things out of the box. And I mean, remember at the start of the season, Jack Del Rio went for 2 to win the game at the
Right.
end.
That's what I was talking
right,
about
right,
earlier.
right.
Like the unique gambles, how most pay off. I
Yeah,
just didn't understand that 3rd and 1 tonight.
It didn't pay off tonight, but anyways, Marquette King, my favorite punter. Your favorite punter.
Yeah,
he's great.
The world's favorite punter.
We need more punters like Marquette King.
You don't understand. There are people who have probably bought Marquette King jerseys.
Oh, 100%.
Name
I
can
would
you
buy
see
a Marquette King
Would
jersey if I
you?
was a Raiders fan.
Okay.
I'm not a Raiders fan, but
No, you got a Rams hat on.
I'm
He's not
about
a Rams
I'm about
fan.
to. This is about to be the end. I'm wearing this hat the rest of the season. If Jeff Fisher's not fired, out.
Well, we know he's not going to be fired. He
That's
just got an
not true.
extension, and
That's not true.
And as I pointed out, Jeff Fisher's agent is
Well,
Kevin Demoff's
That's
dad.
true. That's
So
true.
you know,
That's true.
there's a little unique situation.
Okay, if he finishes, if Jeff Fisher finishes 4-12, they gotta fire him. I don't care. He got an extension.
Well, we're not talking about the Rams right now. I,
know,
was just
I
pointing
know.
out your hat. That
It's a nice
has no.
hat. It's a nice hat.
Sure,
It's good colors.
sure.
Tell me if you
They
like
do
my
have
hat.
good colors.
Better than the Dolphins' colors.
Hey. why do you do
Anyway.
that? What segue is that?
Aw.
Sad week.
Well, let's look at the AFC playoff picture. So now from this game, Oakland went from the 1 seed to the 5 seed.
It's crazy.
Because the NFL playoff picture is insane. So Kansas City now, as of today, is the 1 seed. Now, depending on what happens in the New England-Baltimore game, they might drop to the 2 seed. But now, all of a sudden...
By the way, you can catch the after show of that on Monday night right here.
There you go.
8 p.m.
AfterBuzz TV.
That's a segue.
Mike will talk about my Patriots destroying the Ravens that night.
Whoop. Anyway.
So now, how does this affect the Raiders' confidence? Because in 1 week, you go from being, well, for several weeks, you were the hottest team in football. Everyone was praising you like crazy. And from 1 loss, you go from the top seed, bye week, home field advantage, to now we might have to immediately go to a place like Indy or Tennessee, who's been hot, to somehow, get the playoff race going. Mm-hmm. That's gotta hurt your team's confidence.
I mean, obviously they're a young team, so I think that it's going to impact them slightly, but lack of confidence hasn't seemed to be an issue for them all season long, even in moments when their play hasn't exactly been on par, when it's been kind of shaky. Think about how many come from behind wins Derek Carr has had this season in the fourth quarter.
5.
So there you go. So I don't think that it will shake their...
Huh?
You prepare.
I prepare?
Yeah, you were so ready with the 5.
Well, because she said that and they showed the stat for me tonight in the game, so I'm like, I don't even have to prepare. I just gotta remember that.
There you go. So
thanks, NBC/NFL Network.
For me, that just shows that they're used to coming back and having that fighter spirit. I think that we can attribute this to, it might be a cop-out, but it was obviously Kansas City showed that they are a superior team, and that's been coming on quietly all season. But I also think the fact that it's a short week, it was so cold, and maybe Carr's finger was bothering him, has to be taken into consideration. So I think that it's a bad deal for them as a team, but I don't think that it will shake their confidence too much.
And at the same time, let's remember, yes, they lost. They're still tied with Kansas City. There's 3 games to go. And if you were to look at the schedules, you might think that they have an easier schedule the rest of the way. And they have just as good a chance, even though right now they're the 5 seed, they can get back into that 1 or 2 seed where they have a bye.
Who are their final 3 games?
So they finish the season next week. They're at San Diego. Then they'll play the following week home to the Indianapolis Colts, and they'll finish at Denver. So you look at that, and they could win all those games.
Well, can you look up Kansas City's last 3 as well?
Of course. And then flip side, Kansas City's going to play home to the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
Then they're going to play home to the Broncos, and then they're going to go to San Diego. So I mean, they have 2 common opponents.
They're about the same.
However, yeah, about the same. But so you look at it, you say that they're not a game behind. I mean, all they need is to do 1 game better than Kansas City. I mean, Oakland wins out, Kansas City loses 1 game, they're right there in the top 2
the
spots.
Chiefs right now control their own destiny.
Exactly. But if you're Oakland, you can't. You're still 10-3. You're having a great season.
Oh,
this
yeah.
isn't. This
and
is
a year
loss.
ahead of schedule.
Absolutely. And this is a loss that you can learn and grow from. And maybe it helps them, propels them to even greater heights.
We shall see
Time will
as
tell.
the final quarter of the season progresses. What type of news and gossip do we got this week? Do we got any fun news?
Ooh.
I threw Jill off apparently with that.
We've been a little late this week, but so couple of strip club questions.
Oh,
so
I'm on it.
Cam Newton was benched for a play.
Yep.
Due to a missing
like,
wardrobe
dress
malfunction.
code
thing. But now there are rumors that it actually might have had something to do with the fact that he took some players to a strip club while they were on the West Coast for that week. They stayed on the West Coast between their game against Oakland before
and
they
then
went up to Seattle. Yeah, so they were on the West Coast, and Cam took some players to a strip club. So the rumor is that might have more to do with what was going on with him having to sit out than really the dress code violation. But Ron Rivera also said that he's trying to maintain control of the team. But Cam has been dressing like that all season long, so it kind of makes you wonder what's really going on with that.
Dressing like Russell. Who dresses better, Cam or Russell Westbrook?
Russell Westbrook all day. Cam has been looking like Jiminy Cricket knockoff. Come on.
A Jiminy Cricket knockoff.
Peacocks in his hat, just random top hats. Why?
Why? Don't fashion aside. Going to your point, So why wouldn't
Are we
the
about
other?
to get into Christian's closet right now?
No, we're not. And
Who's that?
That's a different person
Is
on a
that-
different
who's
show. I have
Christian?
no idea what you're talking about, Jimbo.
It's a
But-
religion.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. But no, Jill, my question with that is, though, why didn't the other Panthers get punished if they went to the strip club? Why is it just Cam then?
I don't
If anything, the minor players get punished more usually than the star.
And do any of them get punished for going to strip clubs? Because that's kind of an athlete thing.
They should.
After the
Right?
Cowboys, after the Cowboys
Their
won,
wallets
you know,
get punished.
Yeah, they're
but I
I
thought
mean, they
that
lose
was-
money, but
I don't maybe
Unless there was curfew and they
yeah,
broke curfew.
that's the
that's
only
what I
thing.
was
You know,
thinking. I
if it
feel
was a
like-
curfew thing.
like if it's curfew
do whatever you
thing,
want.
if they got a like pulled over thing, if they
Yeah.
got in a fight thing, that's one thing. If they're
think
just
it
there
might
having
have been
fun, then
It
no.
seems like it
they
might
can
have
do whatever
been
you
a
want at a
curfew-
strip club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grown adult.
Might have been a curfew
Grown ass
thing.
man.
Yeah, I got no
Grown-ass
problem with
man,
that. But
dog.
you know, it's ironic that they only had him. They only set him out for one play because on the first play they threw an interception to Derek Anderson. So it's like his punishment was one play. It was supposed to be a series, but it's just one play.
Yeah.
I don't think it had factor. So yeah.
That's about it.
That's about it
for the news.
Yeah,
All right.
and I mean, obviously, we know there's a ruptured Achilles, and
Yep.
oh, one more thing: Giants' Jason Paul-Pierre is out for the remainder of the regular season.
Jason Pierre-Paul.
Oh, okay. I said it backwards.
It's all right. I
Moving too
said
fast.
Travis Kelce as Todd Kelce earlier, so
You know,
it's fine.
These things happen.
Yeah.
We're late in the season.
We're,
It's
we're
late
human.
at night.
We're human.
Late at
We're
night,
human.
yeah.
So he had surgery yesterday, and he is going to be out for the remainder of the season. There's a possibility that he could make it back in the playoffs if the Giants make it. But I think that's a big blow for the Giants as they try to get to the playoffs because he's a major factor for their line.
Big matchup this Sunday night against Dallas.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, like definite must-win situation for the Giants this weekend.
And with Victor Cruz being unhappy also about not being targeted and Odell bitching about refs,
What's
it's going to
new?
be an interesting night on Sunday for them.
Shepard, big game.
Ooh, I wonder who's he's gonna have in his DraftKings lineup.
Well, let's talk about some fantasy players to look out
Well, let's
for.
just ask Jill.
We should, Jill, what you got?
James,
I need to take notes. I need to take notes right now, Jill.
Well, let's go not live. Okay, let's just pause and we'll
You
come
just
back.
pause.
We'll rejoin you guys in like 10 minutes. For a second.
I'm going to defer to the experts and just say
You're
that,
the expert, apparently.
I've had a streak of good planning, just looking at the matchups and figuring out what works for the money and the salary things and what I thought I could get away with.
All right, well, a couple.
Shout out to Steve Smith, Derek Carr, and there was someone else amazing I had on my fantasy team.
Well, a couple thoughts that I have of some players to look out for. For one, I would say Jeremy Hill this week. Bengals at the winless Cleveland Browns, and the Bengals offense is falling apart at the seams. Hill is pretty much their main weapon now. I expect him to have a solid game.
Do we think the Browns are going to win a game this season? Two more weeks.
I
they
think
do.
it was their. I think their game against Buffalo, they'll win because Buffalo's that team where one week they look great, the next week they look bad.
And also, Robert Griffin III is back now.
He is back. RG3's back.
RG3 is
Yeah.
back.
We'll see for how long.
Again, and that means what? Anyway.
Wow.
If they're gonna win, he's the quarterback. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
what it means.
is he a winning quarterback?
Well, I guess we're gonna find out.
Okay.
He hasn't been so far. I'm just trying
Right.
to see if he's gonna win a game for the Browns. That's all. I don't know.
I would also keep an eye on Jameis Winston this week against a very, very bad New Orleans secondary, and they're at Tampa, and Tampa's been hot.
Tampa's been red hot.
So I would look at him. I would also, as crazy as it sounds, I would say Devontae Adams for Green Bay. He had a bad week this last week, and Green Bay is playing Seattle, but Seattle's missing Earl Thomas. So someone's going to be left open, and I have a feeling it's going to be Devontae Adams.
Whoop, whoop.
Also, who was my one upset that I picked this week? I'm looking at
Why
the
don't you tell
matchups.
us?
I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, also, Arizona's getting hot at the right time. Carson Palmer's going to have a big game. Sorry, Mike, because they're playing Miami.
So you're throwing any shot you can get in there.
No, I'm just saying I think he's going to have a good game. So Green Bay was my upset pick this week. I think they're going to beat Seattle.
You don't have
No
thoughts
response to
about
that.
No.
I don't think so. I don't know.
No.
I mean, it's an upset pick.
Yeah, no,
The game is in Green Bay.
That game is in Green Bay. Seattle right now is, they're trying to catch up to Dallas for the one spot.
They're not trying. I mean, that's over.
Well,
Dallas can clinch home field throughout.
Dallas win, I believe it was with a Cowboy win, and there was one other team that had to lose, and they clinched the 1 seed this week. I just don't remember off the top of my head who. Detroit lost. Cowboy win and Detroit loss gives Dallas the 1 seed this week.
Dallas is gonna
Do we
get
see
that 1
Romo
seed.
take the field if the lead is big enough this weekend? I mean, just to start getting some snaps in to get ready for the playoffs. I think that you kind of have to,
Not
right?
this weekend.
Not this weekend. Not in the big game against
Not
the
in the big game.
Giants.
No, but you'll
Not
see-
with a big enough lead, no?
No. I mean,
they're not going to have a big enough
week-
lead. I think that
Week 15, 16, if they're set at the 1 seed, you might see some Romo
I think
action.
you will see Roma at some point down the stretch if they have everything locked up. But I think the Giants have a legitimate chance to win this weekend.
Oh, they do.
On
They
Sunday
absolutely
night,
do.
I think they might.
they get
I
in their
might
first
actually
only
favor
loss.
them. I know that.
Will that be your upset pick this week?
I don't know if it's even an upset, but sure.
I mean,
I definitely. I think
go
that
by the
they are-
records. It is.
Yeah, sure, record-wise.
11-1, 8-4.
To me, it just wouldn't be an upset. Just like I thought tonight, I think that the Chiefs would beat the Raiders. I didn't think that was going to be considered an upset. I know the Cowboys are a better team than the Giants, but I think that the Giants are a live dog. I mean, they have a really good chance. It's in New York. That's a rivalry. They already beat them once. And I honestly, I know Dallas is the best team in the NFC. I'm not sold on them when they play other top teams as that dominating. I mean, remember the Pittsburgh game they played this season? They won that at the last second. Sure. They just beat Minnesota at the last. Like, they could have easily lost a few games, and they've snuck them out. And that's a sign of a good team. But I think we're seeing it's getting cold. Dak Prescott's never played a season this long. Ezekiel Elliott hasn't. I think these things are going to start to rear their head down the stretch, and I'm not sure that Dallas is 11-1 good. Yes, their record's 11-1, and they're very good, but I don't think they're normal. You see an 11-1 team usually like that team is dominating.
Yeah.
I don't feel that with Dallas. I like them. They have dominating players, and they are good, but they're not dominating. It doesn't surprise me in these games.
Well,
Keep in mind, Zeke has never lost a road game since
love
high
that
school.
stat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Maybe
That's a
yeah,
crazy
that is
stat.
crazy.
But Mike, let me ask you this then: if you don't feel that Dallas is, meets their actual record right now, who is the most dominant team in the NFC then? Because right now everyone says them.
Well, I think they are the most dominant team. They're the top team. But Seattle is a live contender.
Yeah.
And I thought before, I was saying this last week on the show, that I actually thought Seattle would beat Dallas in the playoffs. But that was before the Earl Thomas injury. The Earl Thomas injury changes everything for Seattle's defense. I was confident in Seattle beating Dallas in the playoffs before the Earl Thomas thing. We'll see now.
Now you're feeling shaky.
Earl Thomas, the best player on their defense. They couldn't. He's
Right.
the number one player that they couldn't afford to lose to Seattle, and that's going to change everything. I still think that's going to be a heck of a game if they get there. I'm starting to think that there's a chance that Dallas could lose. I mean, they could have lost to Washington on Thanksgiving. Not that they should have lost or they deserve to win, but those games are close enough that a thing or two happens the other way, they lose the game. In the playoffs, these things happen frequently. It's going to be cold.
Dak is still a
Yeah.
rookie.
He's young. We'll have to see. Prove it before. There's a difference between regular season and the NFL and the playoffs. Excuse me, and we'll have to see. I'm not sold on them as 11-1. I think they're the best team. I would probably pick them, but it wouldn't shock me. I mean, a lot of results wouldn't shock me right now.
If you look at their record, a lot of the teams that they, had wins. I mean, obviously it's just the schedule, but weren't teams that were really.
They haven't played the most difficult of
Yeah.
schedules right now. Also, so that's we'll have to see. Maybe they're going to prove everything that I'm saying completely wrong, and they're just going to walk through everyone. But I personally would not be that surprised if they lost in the playoffs. And still, even down the stretch, I mean, they are 11-1, but if they finish 12-4 here, it wouldn't shock me. I know that.
Wow.
I could see them have multiple losses, but at this point, they've locked up pretty much that 1 seed. I feel confident saying they're going to win the 1 seed, but
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting, the playoffs. It'd be great for them to make the Super Bowl. They're an exciting team. They have great players. Dallas, America's team, not my team, but great team to see in the Super Bowl.
As far as what the owners want, as far as the marketing and everything, they would love Dallas
put
to
them
get back
against
to the Super Bowl.
anybody, and you're like, that's a great market. That's a huge Super Bowl. So
Yeah. I mean, whether it's Dallas, Oakland, Dallas, New England, those stuff. I mean,
Pittsburgh,
like those huge
Kansas-
markets.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it'd be big. So with that, we'll also do our prediction for next Thursday's game. Again, we don't know. Obviously, there could be injuries, like we had Earl,
Tonight.
the injury
Right.
tonight, and then I mean, like Earl.
Is it
Thomas.
weird because so it was Earl Thomas for Seattle. Now
Right.
Kansas City
Right.
lost Derek
Johnson.
Johnson. I keep wanting to say Derek Thomas, former Kansas City.
Former chief. So next Thursday night, we're going to be breaking down the Seattle Seahawks, which we were just talking about, as they play the Los Angeles
you were wondering,
Rams.
why did I wear that hat? Because I was waiting for this moment to help you with the segue.
All right, so
the segue.
So tell me how much the Rams are going to lose by then.
It's in Seattle, right?
It's in Seattle. I'll give you my prediction.
The Rams have won 3 straight over Seattle, which is crazy.
They always seem to give Seattle a tough game, and I don't understand how.
It will be closer than you think. Some teams just have teams' numbers. You've never seen just like a bad.
Well, I mean, the Chiefs had the Raiders' number.
True.
So.
The Rams, the one thing they do have is a solid defense. I mean, they used to have a good running back. He's no longer good because of that offense.
Yeah, you guys remember Todd Gurley?
Vaguely.
Formerly.
I've heard of him.
There was an artist formerly known as him. He was a running back.
He's been so disappointing this season.
Yeah.
You know.
But I would say I think Seattle wins by double digits next week.
Yeah, I think, like we're saying, the Rams always tend to play them well, but Seattle knows what's at stake here. They're at home. The Rams are falling apart. I don't think Jeff Fisher, even though they had all the talk of that contract extension, I don't think he'll be there next season.
Oh, look at that.
I'm saying Seattle wins this game 30-13.
Wow.
Strong.
Yeah, I don't put numbers to it, but I'm going to.
You might as well. You win and everything else.
You know, I'm gonna say the Rams lose by 9. So that's a touchdown.
just put a number on
If I'm 9-0.
That could happen.
They-
That could happen.
Well, their game earlier in the season, wasn't it 6-3 or something like that? Wasn't that their game?
So, you know, a
9-3.
touchdown and a punt.
9-3?
9-3.
I think they're losing by 14.
14?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I think that at this point, though, I think Jeff Fisher's lost the Rams
He's completely lost
clearly.
control.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have control of the locker room. He's saying the dumbest things in the press. He's completely lost at this point.
Do you think that's the
Fans.
LA effect?
No, it's the Jeff Fisher effect.
But
Doesn't matter
he's
where
been
he
with
goes.
right. But he's been with the team for a while. I feel like,
Way
and
too
there's not
long.
such a high turnover as far as their personnel that I don't see what, you know, aside from they're just not very good. I don't see what would be so different this season that they just totally like start tuning him out or lose him like that. Because I don't.
Well,
it doesn't feel like
here's
they were
why.
like, you should play golf
Here's why.
like that. That was the turning point or anything like that. But Mike has the answer. Let's go.
Now I'm gonna tell you, because they used to be in St. Louis, so they didn't really have a point to tune him out and do anything. Now they're in LA. It's like tune out the coach. The season's over. I'm in LA. Like I'm gonna live my life in Los
Actually,
Angeles.
that's a big thing to mention,
For real.
and we'll get in more into it at next week at the game, after the game. But their TV viewership is about half as much as what it was last year when they were in St. Louis. You're in LA, this major market. You have no flashy thing. No, LA's all about flash, all about
need
what have you done for
something,
me?
yeah.
They're the most unexciting team in the NFL.
Right.
And they have no star. You need somebody with personality sizzle for an LA team.
So-
and with the Chargers coming,
Right. But so
Yes.
you
Yeah,
had
true.
so you had in St. Louis just about the same team they have now minus golf, but they were still bad, but their ratings on TV were still nearly twice what they are in the big city.
Because you don't have a lot of
because
options
St. Louis
in St.
fans,
Louis.
Right.
St. Louis fans have abandoned them. They're like, what?
Right, but they knew they were leaving, but they were still tuning in to watch them.
They got nothing else
Now-
to do.
Yeah.
Of course. Now they're
Yeah.
in LA.
Now
they
they're
have
bitter.
other options.
Now they're bitter. I'm not watching that Hollywood team. I mean, I feel them because.
No, I'm just talking about TV viewership in
course.
general.
Yeah,
on
I'm
that-
from those parts
on
of the
that team.
country though. That's how it is. 'Cause
Right.
there isn't a lot. You don't have a lot of options. So yeah, you have your team and you're on board. Win,
The same way
lose,
the
whatever. You're
the
watching.
same way the fans have tuned out, the players have tuned out from their own head coach.
Yes.
But this is also my problem with LA fans.
Well,
Because working
No.
for the What? No.
Oh.
But no, working for the
not even
Dodgers
LA
for
fan.
8 years, like it would piss me off that Dodger fans always come late and they always leave early and they always and unless it's the playoffs or all of a sudden they're the champ, oh then they're there and they're ready and it's their team, but the whole time
Because
they're
the
like,
city likes
but they're
winners.
I know, but they're
We got
booing their
spoiled.
players. They're booing that's just not.
Philly fans
not the
blew
way
their,
it
blew
goes.
their players. I mean, I know that LA fans we're not like Miami Heat fans.
Right.
Win or lose.
Miami
Such a
Heat, that's a
random.
random
This is
one.
so random the way you guys are just taking out fan bases here.
I
Not
know.
even,
We're
not
just
even
baseball,
football.
basketball.
You went baseball. You went basketball. I'm gonna go hockey next.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Montreal Canadiens fans. What are you doing?
I'll talk about WWE. I know some stuff
we
about
could do
that. So.
I mean, but from an honest perspective, being in LA, there's too many distractions. We have 2 of everything. We're about to have 2 football teams. You have to keep some type of excitement on the field. And if your coach doesn't have some type of, engaging, charismatic personality, no one on the field does, and you're not winning games and you're playing bad football, it's such a slippery slope. People will turn them out, and there's going to be something new and shiny for them to look at in a couple of months. So.
And also, we didn't mention the one exciting part of this next week's Thursday night game is that Jeff Fisher's going for a record. He's going to tie the record if they lose next week for the most losses of any head coach in history of NFL. Congratulations, Jeff Fisher. Next week you get to tie it, and the following week you get your own record. The worst record to have. You're the most losingest coach ever in NFL history.
Can someone remember to bring either cake or champagne?
Maybe I remember
something.
Cupcakes in 2 weeks.
Cupcakes. We'll bring them next week. We got to bring them next week to celebrate.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah,
all right, Jill's on that.
Oh, damn.
And well, we'll be able to talk more about that, and you could talk about us more about this game or any other football questions you might have on various forms of social media. Michael Rippe, how can people reach out to you?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mike Rips, MikeRips. Also, check out Jill's blog every week where I got my NFL rankings up.
He does.
And this week you would have noticed I had Chiefs at 3, Raiders at 4. That played out, right?
Yep. I'm Jill Munroe at Stiletto Jill. JocksonStilettoJill.com is the website for all your sports and pop culture gossip.
Holla. I love that site.
Hey, you guys can follow me at JJ Jurgens on Twitter and JJ.Jurgens on Instagram.
And I'm Josh Tariff, and if you want to talk wrestling with me, you could find my alter ego and follow me on Twitter at Rear Rosenberg. And for all your other AfterBuzz TV news and gossip, follow them on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV. Thanks so much for tuning in this week. For Mike Rippe, I don't know why you're staring at me like that.
I just was trying to figure out. It just connected that you're the two people, the Josh, the Christian thing. I
don't know who that is. With Mike Rippe, Jill Munroe, and JJ Jurgens, I'm Josh Tariff. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.